Hello, 8th grade. Today we are talking about how to solve percent change problems. I know we've talked a lot about percents in the past. We're starting to get pretty good at those. Percent change is very much related to that. There's just a little bit of a difference. So we're going to start with a normal percent problem. So our normal percent problems, we're going to be asked something along the lines of what is 80% of, say, 25. And we're looking at this and we just have to make sure that we interpret this correctly. And we know that percent means of 100, out of 100. And we know that of here means multiply. So if I rewrite this, I get that 80% means 80 over 100. Of means times, and the 25 stays there. I can simplify 80 over 100 to be 4 over 5 times 25, which is going to end up getting me 20, and that's how we solve a normal percent problem. But today we are not working with just percents, we are going to do percent change. So what percent change is going to be the ratio. Let me write percent change, just so we know what we're talking about here. Percent change is going to be a ratio, and it is a ratio of the difference to the whole original, written as a percent. So one more time, our percent change is the ratio of a difference to the whole original written as a percent. And I know that sounds really strange, so we're going to run through a problem. I love doing practice problems to try to kind of see what this looks like. So we're going to start by saying that in 1985 there were 15,161 airports in America. And also saying that in 2005, there were 19,845 airports. So this says, at my definition, I want to find the ratio of the difference to the original. So my difference here, difference means we're going to subtract. So I am going to take 19,845 and subtract 15,161. When I do that, I get 4,693. So that's my difference. And then I have to write that as a ratio to the original. So the original here is going to be that first number, which is 15,161. So that's my ratio. So now I just got one more thing I have to do, and that is written as a percent. So I have to write this thing as a percent. So we know how to write ratios as fractions. What that's going to look like is 4,693 divided by 15,161. And that, if I plug it into a magic box, ends up giving me 0.31-ish. And to get this decimal to a percent, we just multiply by 100. So that's the same as 31 over 100, which is the same as saying 31%. So we would say that there is a 31% increase. That's very important there, that it is increasing, and we can tell that it's increasing because we ended up with more than what we started with. So we found the percent of the difference, and then we said whether we were increasing or decreasing. So let's run through another problem real quick. I'll clear this screen so we have a little bit more room. And this second problem tells me that we had 3,180 taxis in 2001, and we had 3,080 taxis in 2002. So that's a change of taxis. the first thing we're going to do is we have to find the difference. So it's the ratio of the difference to the original. So to find the difference, we're going to subtract. So 3180 minus 3080 is 100. So that's my difference. Now I have to find the ratio of this number right here, my difference to the original. So the original is up here, original. So to do that, it would just be 100 over 3180. And if I write that as a percent, it would end up being 3%. And we can notice it's decreasing, so we would say it's a 3% decrease because the number of taxis went down. So this number of taxis is less than that number. Number of taxis went down, so it's a decrease. And that is a 3% decrease. So let's look at something that's going to be a little bit backwards. So we just found how to find the percent change, and I want to talk about how to use the percent change if it's given to us. So if the percent change is given to us, we can have a problem that says that CDs used to cost $9. $9 CDs, not too bad. I'd get music for that. And they were marked up by 70%. So there's a 70% markup. And this is a fancy way to say that there's a percent change, and that percent change is 70%. So what we want to remember is that our 70% here still means 70 over 100. But now 70 over 100, or 70 to 100, is our ratio of change to original. Good news, we know our original, it's $9. So that would be $9 to something is the same as 7 to 100. So 7 to 10. I simplified the 70 to 100 here. So I divided 70 by 10 to get there, 100 by 10 to get there. Those are the same. And now I'm just looking at these numbers and trying to figure out how I can get my question mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cross product strategy that we've been using. And I have something to $9 is equal to 7 to 10. So something to $9 is equal to something to 10. Do our cross product strategy there. So now I have 10 times this something is equal to 7 times $9. 7 times $9 is $63. 7 times 9 is 63. So now all I have to do to figure out what the question mark is, there's multiplication here. Opposite of multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide by 10. Divide by 10. On this side, my 10s cancel, and I end up with a question mark equals $6.30. So now we have to figure out what are we going to do with $6.30. We talked and we said that that is going to be the change. So our $6.30 is our change. That's not the answer, that's just the change. And our original was $9. So that is our original. And then it went up by $6.30. So if it goes up, that means we're going to add them. We add these together and we get $15.30, which is kind of a steep price for a CD. But that's okay. So I'm going to do one more example, which is kind of a word problem that I want us to be able to do. And that is that in the 2002 Winter Olympics, U.S. athletes received a total of 34 medals. So that would be 34 total medals in 2002. And then in 2006, we received a total of 25 medals. So 25 total medals in 2006. And then I want to know what the percent decrease is. So what is the percent decrease? So just so that we go over this one more time, to find percent change, that's going to be the ratio of the change to the original. So the ratio of the change to the original, first thing we have to do is to find the change. And that's just a basic difference problem. 34 minus 25 gives us 9, and that is our change. So our ratio of change to original is going to be 9 to 34. 9 to 34 we can also write as 9 over 34, which is equal to 0.26, which is going to be 26%. These are all different ways to write the exact same thing, and either way that's going to get us our percent change. One more thing we have to make sure we specify, is this increasing or decreasing? We start with 34 metals, we end up with 25, that means it's going down. So it is a 26% decrease right there. 26% decrease because it's going down. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys in class.